What's going on, people? Welcome back to the Reddevil Circle. United come away with a win in a game that almost made me shit my guts out. It was intense to watch. I could feel my skin getting tighter. I could feel all the emotions. I couldn't watch. I had to look away at long periods of the first half, especially when they had the ball in the corner area, and you know Rich James is gonna whip across, and you just know crosses are coming in, and we've had so many decisions, wrong and good decisions against us, which I'm gonna come to that, but the refs need to be flogged because I don't understand that it was just criminal what they were doing in the second half. It was like they were paying for a mistake they made in the first half, maybe against Chelsea, but every decision that went against them was right. We don't have to pay for a red card that was the right decision. So I don't get what the refs were trying to pay for, but it was terrible. It was terrible. Bad decisions were being accrued, and players were getting agitated. Morale was dipping, and you could just see it. You could just see it. And I saw that goal coming. I saw the goal coming, and Chaluba was the one to get the goal. Weirdly enough, because I don't really rate him as a defender, but he was pretty good in this game. So I was really pissed about the refereeing, but we've come away with a win where we need one, and Amorim Matters can shut up and eat that one because you already know they're gonna be saying, "Oh, if without a red card, Chelsea would have won the game." Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? We've had situations like that where a goalie um making bad mistakes or our defenders making bad mistakes. Um they've done the same, and they've played into their luck. So you cannot come out and tell me, "Oh, we don't deserve." We deserved what we got, and the refs almost robbed us of our win. They almost robbed us of what the win we should have gotten in the end, but we still had it. We still had it, but you cannot ignore that. It was such a blatant, stupid refereeing decision. It was so obvious, and I just can't keep quiet about that. The Premier League, I don't know what they have to do about it, but this referee should be held accountable. But I'm gonna move on from the refs now because that really pissed me off. Because if that game had gone a different way in the second half, I'm not gonna be seated here and not talking about it. So they need to fix that. Um, but big props to Delete. I gotta say, big shout out to him. He looks like a captain. He's going into tackles on the right way, aggressive where he needs to be, lunging in where he needs to without causing a panic in the back, or when the player's lunging, you have to make sure you have cover in the back. Because if you lunge in and you don't win the ball, you're gonna create space for the other team, and you're gonna create a weak point that obviously they're gonna break through. So the elite was solid. You could tell we missed Casemiro in the midfield because the midfield presence was almost non-existent, and we had to defend a lot after we got that red card, which shouldn't have been a red card. I just do not understand that. He's barely put his arms around him and made a tackle, which was not a tackle from behind because he didn't catch him from behind. He literally swung his leg around him and won the ball. It was exactly like a Wan-Bissaka tackle, like a Spider-Man tackle. He's won the ball. I don't get the refereeing decision there. It was absolutely disgusting. But I'm just gonna move away from that because I've been talking about the referee for the whole video because they absolutely sucked. But Daly's big shout out, man. He was like Blue Chew. Never disappointed. Not that I know anything about it because I've never used that shit. So I'm just happy. I'm just happy that we've come away with a win um, on a Saturday because I hate waiting till Sunday because like every time they have the United game on Sunday, obviously it's still the most watched. I think we still have the most viewers because we're just that great. Not now, but we still have we still have the pool. So yeah, we definitely make the Premier League a lot of money. I think so. Um, I just hate that we have to wait till Sunday every time to play our games. I'm happy that we won on a Saturday. I can go ahead and go have a good day. Now I'm watching Ronaldo play in the Saudi because I followed Ronaldo all my life. So I'm just really excited about this win because we really needed it, and hopefully it can give the players a better mentality, some more confidence, some more cojones to show you that don't focus on the system, focus on how you're playing the system. And if you do that, we'll get the right results. If the referees aren't so shit, maybe we would have cruised. If we're making better decisions in the final third, we could have cruised. That was a game that should have been dead and buried in the first half. But once we get the ball in areas where we need to penetrate in the right way and cause chaos in the right way, we end up choking. We end up choking in good decisions that have been created from a system that people have been making a shit out of. The problem was never the system, and we we have a system where we win the ball so quickly, and we can have possession, um, and it gets us in the right areas every time. But when we get in the right areas in the final third, we choke. Um, it's been like that for a long time now, and we need to fix that because some games might not go your way, and when you have referees like that, and when you have situations that might not go your way like that, it could haunt these players because we know these players are not strong mentally. One win is not going to be enough, obviously, to help them maybe fix their mentality. So we need to accrue more wins. We need more wins under our belt. Um, but they really, I don't. No one needs to be done. But when Amorim has come out and said the mentality is the problem, it is clearly the problem. And I feel like some wins would really help in that situation. I'm not a big fan of moving on from what I was saying. I'm not a big fan of how Menu keeps coming on in the second half, but I did like the substitutions to an extent. I think it brought on it brought on some energy where we needed it, and without that, probably we would have had a lot more crosses put into the box, and you can tell we're not very good with the pressure in the box. Someone is always left open for some reason. I feel like Euro should have done better with the Chaluba goal, so I don't want to go in on him. He's been pretty good this season. So I don't want to go in on Euro. Maguire, I think, was brought up at the right time, so good substitution on Maguire because he had made a mistake that almost cost us a goal. Um, and I think it was Shaw who had to track all the way back or delete. There's so many times delete saved our ass. I just don't want to hear any bad things said about him in the media anymore because it doesn't make sense. It sounds like a witch hunt. He's been our most consistent player. So shout out delete, really. My man of the match. Um, yeah, the referees, like I said, just disgusting in general. Shout out Ahmed because he put pressure where when it needed to be done in the second half because there were situations where they played the ball to the side and their plan was to put in a cross because they could sense the weakness in that defense that they're not comfortable with crosses, and that is a huge issue, by the way. I don't know how we're going to fix that going forward. But yeah, they go to the sidelines, and Ahmad is just squeezed. I don't know what I said there. Maybe a new English word. Go check the Cambridge Dictionary. But Ahmad was quick. There we go. Quick to close down the players, and that energy we needed a lot. And Cunha and Mount got some minutes under their belt, which is pretty good. Shesko, shout out to him. I just hope he doesn't lose his head after the substitution, because I mean, I don't necessarily understand the substitution of Shesko, but hey, we got the win, so you cannot critique that. Um, but he did well during his time there in the first half, and you have to make sure the coaching team has to make sure they let him know that he did a great job, and on a different day, in different circumstances during the course of the game, he gets the goal he's been working out for, because he deserved the goal in that game. But the ball never fell to him the way it should have, because we're making so many bad decisions going forward. I mean, at 2-0 down, you should know that's a risky score. And Bruno was one of the ones who made the bad decision. I don't want to call him out, but there was a play he should have made to Ahmed, and he's trying to put Sesko in, because I guess he's trying to make him get his first goal. That's not the time to do that. Two nil up. It's very risky still. Play Ahmed and we get a third goal, and maybe the situation would be better, much better for Sesko to get another goal. Maybe he wouldn't have had to be subbed off, but he makes a stupid pass to try to play Sesko in when he could have made the obviously blatant right pass, and that is just absolutely terrible decision for me. But it's not Bruno hate channel, but sometimes his decision making is bad alongside the team, because we're bad in the final third, and then his discipline is also poor in the midfield too. But my guess is for the next game, I think it's against Sunderland, which we need to win. Casemiro is not going to be there, and bringing Menu in, as much as he was pretty good when he came on, helped us keep the ball in situations where we were able to resist the pressure that we're putting on us. Um, as much as he's very calm, we're also losing aerial ability. You see a lot of crosses going in, and there's no one to put it in. And losing Casemiro like that, obviously, it's gonna be hard to score goals from header. Just having one aerial play in the box at like Sesko wouldn't do it. So having Casemiro in there is pretty good. And when you bring in Menu, it's not we're not gonna have that. So you're giving up something to have something in that sense. But um I feel like Menu is gonna come in now, because if he doesn't, I don't understand why. Um I would go for Menu Ugarte midfield. I feel like we enjoyed it in the preseason, and we haven't gotten the chance to see it. I just don't get it. But with Mount and Cunha back, and we after studying Amorim and seeing how stubborn he is, um, I don't think we're gonna see that still. If we do, I'm gonna be happy, but I don't think we're gonna see that, because he's created this hill of Bruno in the A that he's willing to die on. He's so stubborn about it, and I've said many times, Bruno in that midfield to either could be a revelation or it could be his sacking. And so far, it's been looking like it could be the end of the manager. But he's escaped this one. I'm definitely still Amorim in, but he's very stubborn. And as much as Casemiro is out for the next game, um, I don't think he's gonna play Meno in there, because he's probably gonna go with Bruno and Bruno and Ugarte. Yeah, Ugarte played better today. I just usually don't like having him in there because his passing can be very very questionable for a professional player, especially when you're playing a midfield too, and you have a player who can't make a 5 yard pass or who's putting you under pressure. I mean, the last game we lost to City, he lost the ball twice, and Haaland almost scored 3 goals because of it. So Ugarte is a problem in that midfield, but I'd rather see him and Mainu because I've gotten a sense of I guess familiarity with the situation in the preseason. So I would like to see that, but I don't think we're gonna see that, and that's the problem because Amorim is gonna die on this midfield mount. He's gonna die on this mountain Bruno Fernandes, and that's a huge problem. But I've talked way too much for this video. I'm happy about the win, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell us how you feel about the game. Because I am absolutely gassed, and I can go enjoy the rest of my Saturday. But thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.